I'm not sure how much you knew about the real Hasteinn, but I promise whatever you knew about him isn't nearly as interesting as who he actually was. His true origins are unknown, with theories ranging from being one of the first sons of legendary Viking Ragnar Lothbrok to being a son of some random displaced Danish family from Charlemagne's time. He finds himself setting off from the Loire Valley in 859 on a joint raiding expedition through the Med with none other than Bjorn Ironside raiding the coast all the way down to the Strait of Gibraltar. The two fought their way through the Andalusian nations living in Spain and through the Maghreb all the way over to Tunisia and then back up to the Balearics. The hordes stayed hungry though, and they kept ravaging through southern France, pillaging for their golden glory. Eventually, they set their sails to the seaside city of Luna, now Luni, in northern Italy. Upon seeing the old and somewhat ruinous walled Roman city, Hasteinn and Bjorn believed that they had found the center of classical civilization, Rome itself, a shadow of its former glory. Hasteinn knew that they couldn't get in via direct assault on the walls, so he hatched a plan that would go down in Viking history, and sometimes credit is given to Bjorn. History is fuzzy. Disguised as a dying man, Hasteinn ordered his men to carry him into the city on a stretcher. He called forth the clergy of the town, begging them as a dying pagan man to renounce his former ways and gain the glory of God before he passed from this life. The clergy, pitying the poor heretic, brought him and his men into their temple and gave him their sacrament. They pronounced him a new man, glory unto God. The next morning, the newly converted Hasteinn would succumb to his wounds, dying in his camp outside the city. The townsfolk and clergy allowed 50 of Hasteinn's men, clad in robes, to bring the dead man's body through the city and into the temple, where they would hold a Christian funeral for him. That's when, from under the shroud, Hasteinn activated his trap card. He decapitated the priest in one swift motion and then rallied his men to rampage through the city. They sacked Rome, thinking they had just triumphed over the most powerful city in their time's history. Then a townsperson spoke up. "Senor Viking, sir, this isn't Rome. This is Luna." Hasteinn was pissed. He ordered a full slaughter of the men in the city and took many of the women and children as slaves. What may have been a glorious victory for him turned into a bloody lesson on how not to handle being corrected. Karma got her lick back though, because on the way back to Loire, Hasteinn and Bjorn